Tina Houseman, she's... Well, this is it, and eyes to the lights. There we are, the lights go out, so it's Dorian Pan who takes the lead of the race down into the first turn. Will she maintain it, or is Abby Pulling going to be able to get a pass on her into that first tight chicane? Well, the good news is it looks like all 16 drivers are safely through. Racing is underway here in Jeddah, and Dorian Pan is looking strong. Abby Pulling, however, isn't letting up yet.
A little bit of contact for Bianca there, running wide. She's under big pressure now, but all relatively civilised at the front of the field. They've all filed in nicely, and yeah, it's going to heat up, I reckon.
Yeah, so Bianca Bustamante, we just saw there, she obviously cut the corner. Whether she's going to have to give back a position or not, we will find out. But there we have it. So Dorian Pan, P1, Abby Pulling. Then we've got the Ferrari in P3 and the Tommy Hilfiger car in P4. There we are, got there in the end. But Bianca Bustamante may have lost out on a position. We'll get the graphic up in a second to find out. But it's looking like a very strong start for these 16 female racers who are taking to the track for the first time here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia.
You know, overtaking round here should we see the Haas closing up now. Oh.
So we've got a battle on our hands now for 12th position, the Kick Sauber car, and in the Red Bull Racing car, it's Hamda Al-Qabizi, a very experienced driver. Hamda, she did phenomenally well here in F1 Academy last season.
So it's Tina now closing up to the car in front. There's going to be some really good overtakes around here with the long straights. There's a big slipstream effect as everyone seems to go defensive now. They're all closing up into the last corner.
So we've got, let's take a recap of where we are as we are coming into, I mean, that is a fabulous corner, isn't it? Turn 27 into the start-finish straight. And Bustamante's on the radio saying she has a puncher.
Well, she has, but she's not coming to the pit, so maybe that was just from dirt on the tyres from where she got pushed wide. As now Chloe Chambers has a little look on Bianca, also defending from Leah Block. 1 and 2 are the same.
Well, good news is Bianca Bustamante looks like she's still maintaining her pace, so hopefully she can stay out on track. How much is car number 14 there, is going for a little look.
Oh, they both from wide, gone in way too hard. It's given the run to Leah behind. She's now wide. I think we're going to get so much action here with the big slipstream. You saw the Haas, how much it closed right up onto the McLaren there down the straights. There's going to be plenty of action now as they run down towards turn 13.
So after the first lap, it is Dorian Pan in the lead, Abby Pulling behind. Leah Vug in P3, Marty fourth, Löwenfoss fifth. So Bianca Bustamante's team is asking her to box. She's going to be very disappointed with that, but hopefully not the end of her race yet.
No, I'm not sure. She has got a puncher. You know, when it's a full flat tyre, they're really going slow, but maybe she's struggling a little bit, maybe a slow flat, or just picked up a little bit of damage from that contact that she had, but again, under heavy pressure.
She's definitely losing time. I mean, the gap between Löwenfoss in fifth and Bianca Bustamante in sixth is now about 3 seconds, so she is definitely not quite on the same pace as everybody else.
Yeah, well, Chloe Chambers stuck up right underneath the gearbox, and now there's just a long, long train, and we're just going to see side-by-side action until anyone can clear Bianca right at the front, as she goes defensive now into the last corner again.
So Aurelia Nobles there in the 22 Puma car is going for a move. In fact, I think she managed to do it, taking Tina Houseman.
So Leah Block had a little look up the inside into the last corner, didn't manage to get the move done, but again, Tina Houseman now going to the outside.
Nice little battle between these two. So Tina Houseman in the green Aston Martin car. She is now going on the outside. We've got 2 wide coming into turn 1. Bianca has cut the corner again.
Yeah, she's going to have to give that place back. She decided she didn't want to have to go around the outside, cut the corner. I think Chloe definitely had that move sewn up, so I think that one will be going up to the stewards.
And it looks like and it's a spin. It's a spin. The car 88 of Rima Jafali has spun And somebody, I think it's belonging to Rima, there is a wing now, unfortunately stuck under the 88 of Amna Al-Qubaisi.
Yeah, Rima lost the car very early there under the brake zone. It looked like she locked rears. As finally Bianca gets overtaken, there's a safety car to probably pick up that debris at the accident there at turn 4, I think it was.
So, given the fact that there's a safety car now, this gives the drivers as a minute, I suppose, to gather their thoughts and breathe, but also at the same time we slightly lose momentum in the course of that race. Are the Aston Martin safety cars coming out?
Yeah, well, safety cars always provide opportunity. You know, yellows sometimes breed more yellows because everyone squashes back up and the restart, all the cars are close together again.
Amna Al-Qubaisi there, managing to get the car started again. Obviously damage to the front.
So she might be in a little bit of, well, luck after her bad luck, get back to the pits, can change the nose, and under safety car, if she doesn't get lapped while she's in the pits, she'll be able to get back out and join the back of the field. So, albeit right at the back, as we look at the race start. So it was pretty civilised into turn 1. Everyone slotted in quite nicely. It had a little bit of action a bit further down the field. But Dorian Pan, we've not spoken much about her. Nice clean start, took the lead and has pretty much been stable ever since. All the action happened around Bianca in the nice higher orange cars we now ride on board with her. I wonder whether we can stay all the way down to turn 4 where the contact happened and that's where she complained of the puncture. Nothing untoward there around the outside of turn 1, then inside of turn 2. She has to tuck in behind Lola now, and this is where she runs wide. It goes to the outside, and a little bit of contact on the rear. So I wonder who stuck their nose at the inside there and just a bit of contact. Steering still seems straight, so maybe a little bit of damage, but she seemed to complain, and then just under big pressure. So yeah, struggling after that.
So let's take a re-watch of Rima Jafali's spin, just losing control of the car there, complaining that there was contact.
So I take it back then, maybe she didn't lock up. It looked like she locked the rears up early, but yeah, sounds like there was a bit of contact there. I didn't see that one, so maybe we need another replay from a different angle to see what contact was made.
I mean, huge credits to Rima Jafali. Susie Wolf was telling an amazing story that Rima reached out to Susie about 8 years ago. They had an interview, and she said, I want to be a race driver. And Susie said, all right, go off. Here's a bit of advice. And Susie said she never thought she'd hear from Rima again. 6 months later, Rima said, oh, I've actually got my race license, I'm here. What do I need to do next? And they've had a great relationship ever since. And it's just fantastic to think, you know, I think it was 2018, 6 years ago, women weren't even allowed to drive in Saudi Arabia. Look how far things have come. So we're having a nose change for Amna Al-Qubaisi there in the car 88.
I think unfortunately for her, she's now a lap down, so didn't manage to get back into the pits in time and get that nose changed. But yeah, if anyone's out there, you know, male or female, want to get involved in motorsport, there's plenty of governing bodies around the world that will give you some advice. There's plenty of initiatives, so get online, find the emails, find the phone numbers, and yeah, ask. If you don't ask, you don't get.
Absolutely. Now, I'm sure, you know, Amna's going to be a bit disappointed with that, but ultimately, this is the first race weekend, and it's just critical to get the experience in, isn't it? To perfect that determination and talent that we've seen from all the drivers. So the safety car is ending, which means Dorian Pat is going to be in control of the restart.
So lights have gone out of the safety car. She can now decide what the speed is and when to go. Everyone's going to be watching her, making a decision of how close they can get, when are they going to go, as Abby now right tucked up underneath the gearbox.
She's desperate to go, isn't she? She's just looking there to the outside, trying to get the best position, making sure Dorian doesn't get ahead of her.
So she slowed it right down now. She'll probably be in first or second gear, and she'll suddenly commit and everyone will go. So still waiting, still waiting. So we just listen to the engine, you'll hear the engine and she'll be off.
Oh, there.
I think she'll wait right until the last moment because it's such a long straight. You don't want to slipstream, so you want the straight to be as short as possible. So it's going to crawl up to the line now.
Are there any rules on how long you can do this for?
Well, she's gone, so she's off. But no, there are no rules. Slightly slower start for Abby. She's under big pressure.
Excellent, right, okay, so, and we go racing once again here in Jeddah. That was a fantastic restart for Dorian Pin. We're going into turn one, that tight left-right chicane. Abby pulling almost alongside Maya Vung in the Ferrari there. Abby pulling in that bright pink and blue Alpine car that's currently in P2. But great to see all 16 drivers safely racing once again. So we've got Pat in P1 pulling. In P2, third is Maya Vung, Marty in fourth, Lovenfoss fifth. Race control is saying that there is a turn, an incident at turn 4. I think that's
the incident that caused the yellow flag. So yeah, Abby had a slightly poor restart there, and was under a load of pressure. Managed to hold on to second, as now they single file down into turn 13. As I say that, there's now an overtaking move at the back of the field.
Yep, so the Red Bull there looking to the outside, trying to pass the Kick-Sauber of Carrie Schreiner.
The up and under.
Who's going to win this battle? There we go, so the Red Bull is now moved up into 12th position. Hamna Al-Khawazi now.
Yeah, Hamna, great move for the up and under. Slow in, fast out, got the undercut, as we've now got another move. There's just too many moves going on.
Well, that's what we like to see. I mean, these cars have been designed to effectively promote overtaking. Relatively sort of simple designs in terms of the rear and front wing. And of course, a reminder that they've all got the same car. They might look very different, but it's a 1.4 litre engine, and they're all virtually identical.
Yeah, Carrie under even more pressure now.
So we've got a lovely 3-car battle here going on towards the back of the grid. It's good to see Rima Jafali still hanging on in there.
Carrie's managed to make that. She's locked up though, as she's under pressure from Emily as well.
So we're 6 laps into this 12-lap race. Now, there was the yellow flag incident, so we will, depending on... Actually, we've got side-by-side action going on between Nerea Marti and Lola Lovenfoss there into turn 1 and 2. And it's Lola Lovenfoss who's still in P5.
So Chloe Chambers was under attack from Bianca then, trying to go around the outside Bianca. She runs off the track, and so does Leah Block behind her. So it's all action. Leah's now under big pressure from Tina.
So Bianca Bustamante currently in P7, battling it out with Chloe Chambers. Tina Houseman in the Aston Martin car is trying to attack Leah Block, who swapped her rally and rallycross career for single-seaters this season with Williams.
So starting to spread out a little bit towards the front. That puncture that we heard on the first lap from Bianca doesn't seem like it is a thing, so just that little bit of contact. As Leah seems to run in a little bit deep, she's still under pressure from Tina behind. That seems to be where the action's going to unfold, as we've now got Hamner in the Red Bull a few places back. Perfect timing, right on board. She's tucked up under the gearbox. Goes left, goes right, bit of a defensive move. She's now going to be on the outside coming into turn 22. Has to back out of it. Got a really nice run here. We get stuck behind. It's so hard. Although you've got the long straights, it's just nowhere to go when you're in these long sweeping corners. Tina now under more pressure for Leah coming into the last corner. Gone to the outside.
Side-by-side action there. That is some fantastic defending there from Leah Block. She does not
they
want
both lock up and go in
to
deep.
pass.
That's 2 for 1 there.
Oh, what an opportunity there for the 17 car of Jess Edgar for Rodin in the F1 Academy livery. She's going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, she's staying to the inside. She watched everyone else's Leah's now.
No,
she's got a puncher.
Ah, what a shame. It's going to be over for Jess Edgar there in the Rodin car. She's got a puncher on that rear.
absolutely fantastic move for Jess at the last corner. While the other two were fighting, they went in deep. She got the cutback, but there was a little bit of contact down the straight. I think actually Leah might have a bit of front wing damage from it.
So Aurelia Nobles currently in P10 for Puma, a sort of purple and orange liveried car. So now we're on board with Hamda Al-Khabazi in the Red Bull racing car. Got the Puma just ahead.
So this fight here with Hamda and Nobles up ahead seems to be where the action's at. You've got to thread the needle through this whole section, close up to the walls. Slipstream now, the long, long straight. In F1, you have DRS down here, but not in these cars, so it's old school racing, just pure slipstream. But you can see how big the effect is. She's really going to close up now, opening up the line into turn 22. It's really bumpy as you watch under the brakes there. And then again, wall to your left. Big high curve. Got a really good run now on Nobles down into the last corner. Can she make it move, make it happen? She goes to the outside.
Well, some very mature driving here from Aurelia Nobles in the Puma. She's one of the youngest drivers on the grid, 17 years old, Brazilian racing driver. She graduated single-seaters in 2022 and was actually the only female on the grid in Brazilian F4.
So Aurelia managed to hold her off quite nicely there. So Lola has a little look into turn one, but thinks better of it. As now Nobles goes defensive. No, opens a corner back up. So no one really having a good lunge down the inside, thinking about it, but never quite doing it.
So we're just
here was the contact. It was actually Tina's front wing on the back of Jess's car, and then straight away you can see the tyre just goes soft, and that's it. Leah comes back past.
Oh, what a shame, what a shame. I mean, really, that's a racing incident. Couldn't really have done much about it.
Yeah, no one moved particularly quickly. It was a little bit of 3 into 1 and a bit of misjudgment, miscommunication, I would suggest, rather than anything malice.
So we're 8 laps in of 12. Dorian Pam has still got the lead of this race, 1.1 seconds ahead of Abby Pulling in P2. Third in the race, it's Maya Vung.
So Bianca's finally got track limits. We've seen her go off 5 or 6 times. Seem to have spoken about her a lot. There's been loads of action around where she is. So she's got a little warning for track limits. She's going to have to watch that now before a penalty comes. But it's all settled down now at the front. The gaps are starting to open up as now, again, we've got Anna having a little look at Aurelia.
This is a great little battle between the two of them.
She's gone a little bit deep, runs wide, giving Hamner the chance. She needs to tuck into the slipstream now, stay really close. She can get right up underneath the gearbox, get a good slipstream, force a defensive move. Is she going to go to the outside?
Well, it's a long run down
up
into
the inside.
that turn.
That's a good move. She's gone a little bit, it carries now, having a little look. It's going to be 3 wide on the run down now into turn 1.
This is some fantastic racing here. It is really great to see these female racing drivers pushing to the absolute max, using the track as much as they possibly can. Carrie Schreider take advantage going into turn 1. She can't. It's the Puma driver.
As Hamner runs in deep, she's going to have to give that place back because she was behind on the way in, cut the corner, has now jumped ahead. Does she give it back? No, she's going to keep it. I think if I was a team radio, I'd be saying, give that place back, because there might be a penalty coming, because she was definitely behind on the way in.
Well, you don't really want to run the risk of a penalty, do you? Although, having said that, they're not currently at the moment. Well, they're competing for 1 point.
So here's the replay. So in the slipstream, and as we saw, Carrie's now coming up to left as well. So gone to the outside, slightly ahead when they get to the braking zone, but by this point, solidly behind and then cuts the corner, yeah, she's going to have to give that place back, I would suggest.
Yes, you might as well do it now during the course of the race rather than get given a time penalty post-race.
Oh, here we go. I think that was it. Later, that's into turn 13 just afterwards. So yeah, she's already swapped the place. So stewards get a let off a job there.
Brilliant. Well, let's take a look back at those top 10. So it's Pound, Pulling, Berg, Marty, Lovenfoss, Chambers, Bustamante, Block, Houseman and Nobles are the top 10 positions at the moment. Points available for all of those. 3 laps still to go.
So Noble seems to be the cork in the bottom at the moment and the keeper of that last championship point. So everything up to grabs here. She's got nice, tight and defensive. And will probably look to the outside again. Like, no, she's gone to the inside. Up the inside. Oh, it doesn't make it happen.
Not going to give up, is she? This is for a points scoring position. She's not going to go away quietly. Good for her. She wants to finish the first race of the season with some points in the bag.
Nobles has gone defensive, back to the outside again. Let's see what happens to turn 1. Nice defensive move. Hamlet tucks in behind, fights for another day. Again, now into turn 4, she's really defensive. Nobles are on the white line pretty much, up against the wall. So you're not coming past there.
So Nobles is actually also part of the Ferrari Academy, one of the Ferrari Academy drivers, alongside Maya Vug. They were living together in Italy for a while.
So gap's really opened up here. She's 3 seconds away from the car in front, so it's all about holding on to that last championship point, as Tina's a good distance ahead. She's not going to catch her in the next 2 laps, so first race of the year, you want to score points.
Yeah, so there we are. We can see the time differences between Carrie Schreiner and Rima Jafali there. Fairly similar.
Yeah, well, they're all stuck up in a nice train trying to get past us. So, yeah, I think we're going to see a few more battles here on the last few laps. It could go any of one of 5 drivers' ways, really.
Now, this is one of the fastest circuits on the track. I mean, it's an epic street circuit. I think these drivers have, well, just shown their racecraft here absolutely beautifully.
Yeah, we have very little incidents. It's a really tough circuit. You know, there's no margin for error, so the drivers have done a great job. We haven't spoken much about the leaders. You've got Pan at P1 and Pulling in P2. Although she had such a big advantage in qualifying, actually in the race it seems a little bit more even right at the front. As I say that, Abby kindly goes fastest lap, just to prove my point. Thank you very much. There's Hannah now again on Nobles in the slipstream. Going down into turn 1 again. Can she make it happen this time? Would be, what, 5th time lucky this time round?
Never give up, as they say. You've only got a couple of shots to go, because we are now in lap 11 of 12. Hamda Al-Ghabizi is chasing Nobles for 10th, and has been for a while. But it's given us lots to talk about over the course of this first race here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. The good thing is, of course, we've got another race tomorrow. So we've got a yellow flag out in Sector 1 at the moment.
It's Leah Block.
It's Leah Block in the Williams car. Looks like she has spun. Bit of contact there with the rear wing. Can she get the car restarted?
It's a shame. She was in a good scoring position, so she'll be kicking herself for that mistake. Maybe we'll see a replay to see what actually happened. And it's promoted Hamda up 1 place to get a point at the moment.
Well, there you are. Then everyone's happy. So let's take a look back at what happened earlier. So we're on board with Bianca Bustamante at the moment. We can see Leah Black.
Oh,
Leah Block just behind. Oh, what a shame. That curve is such a tricky one. Got a bit of height. Just took her out.
Yeah, the curves here are really aggressive, and you've seen in F1 and in F2 bouncing over it, and yeah, she took off and literally took off and bounced off into the wall. So unfortunate for her, but these are fine margins of a street circuit.
Yeah, and you know, she will only learn from that experience and come back stronger tomorrow, no doubt about that. So let's take a look at these two. We haven't really seen them for much of the race. They're having their own race up ahead. Dorian Pan for Mercedes and Abby Pulling in the Alpine car.
Yeah, they've been in a league of their own, so we should probably give them a little bit of credit of how well they've done. P1, P2 within a second of each other, as we hear team radio.
Pulling has the fastest lap by a few hundred, so we need to push next lap to get the fastest lap.
Oh, so they're not happy with the win and pole position. They want the fastest lap as well.
We've got Lola going in deep with, who was that? So was that Chloe Chambers going up inside?
Oh, frustrations there. Hitting the steering wheel, understandably so. The race has ended for Lola Lovenfoss there. Oh, she just looked to the outside, trying to make a pass on the Tommy Hilfiger car with Nerea Marti behind the wheel. And unfortunately just clipped the rear wheel by the looks of it.
Yeah, a bit of a misjudgment there. That one will probably be going up to the stewards. Just as I said, it's been a very incident-free race. The last couple of laps, everyone's decided to start battling and make a bit of contact. But minor mistakes, first round of the year, that's to be expected.
Well, there she is. The lady of the moment, Susie Wall, founder of F1 Academy. Poised and ready to go to wave that checkered flag. But here we have it.
Abby's actually closing up. She's only 8/10 away. So although we heard Dorian be told to go for fastest lap, Abby's really closing up. So she might keep her fastest lap here, as that incident is now being investigated.
So we are on the final lap of the race. Coming down into the final turn, turn 27. Abby Pulling has tried her hardest, inching her way closer. A dominant display from Abby Pulling. She has been relentless in the fight, in the hunt for Dorian Pan, the Mercedes driver, who unbelievably started from pole position. It is a lights to flag finish for Dorian Pan for the first F1 Academy race here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia in the 2024 season. Abby Pulling in P2, Maya Vung for Mercedes in P3, Chloe Chambers for the Haas in 4th, Lola Lovenfoss in 5th. What a finish, what a race. Plenty of action towards the end there. But it was nice, it was straightforward, it was a clean win for Dorian Pan. A lights to flag victory for the Prema team there. A huge amount of work has been going in behind the scenes during testing. Pan topped the timings a couple of times. Abby Pulling was fastest in testing. But today, standing on the top step of the podium, it will be Pan.
Yeah. Yes. Good job, mate. Amazing drive.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks. Amazing start of the season. Let's push tomorrow.
Yeah, very good job. Very good job. Super happy for you. And happy International Women's Day.
Let's take a look at the final race results. Dorian Pan in pole position and on the top step of the podium. Abby Pulling in 2nd. Maya Vug for Ferrari in 3rd. Chloe Chambers, American driver for Haas in P4. Lola Lovenfoss still managed to finish in 5th despite that big moment at the end. Bianca Bustamante in 6th. Tina Hausman in 7th. Aurelia Nobles 8th. Hamda Al-Kwabizi, what a battle we saw from her dominant drive. Finished in the points in 9th. And Carrie Schreiner for Kick Sauber in 10th. Rima Jafali had a big moment, a big spin out of the points in P11. Emily De Hausch in 12th. Amna Al-Kwabiji 13th. Nerea Marti 14th. Jessica Edgar and Leah Block 14th and 15th. Motorsport is changing. And the opportunity that these female racing drivers now have is fantastic. And now we are about to go racing. Keep your eyes on the lights. The starting sequence has happened. Listen to the rev of the engines. It's Dorian Pan on pole position. And the F1 Academy goes racing in Jeddah. And it is a sprint down to the first corner. Can Dorian Pan hold on to the lead of the race? Abby Pulling looks to the outside. They're through the first and second turn. Lovenfoss goes wide, trying to make a move on Marti. Marti comes out on top.
Again, all very well behaved, the same as yesterday, as Lovenfoss comes down the inside, a couple run wide. Still side by side now as they come through turn 6, 7 and 8.
Right, a nice little battle there going on between the Haas car and the Charlotte Tilbury car of Lovenfoss. It's Chloe Chambers in the Haas that manages to come through there, the 14 car, the black and white car.
And Marty's managed to make a good start. She's up to 4th now, with more pressure for Lovenfoss.
Yeah, Jess Edgar is looking to the left, looking to the right, seeing if there's an opportunity there to take Lovenfoss. Didn't quite manage to make a move there, but I'm sure she's preparing. She's getting closer and closer, but that's great to see the first part of the race. All the drivers are through, and it's now time to go racing once again here in Jeddah at this tough, tight, twisty street circuit.
Yeah, we saw plenty of slipstreamers now. Jess Edgar's right up underneath.
Bustamante there, going through. 3 wide at one point. Bustamante on the inside of Tina Hausmann. That was a fantastic pass. Tina Hausmann not giving up, though. A little bit of smoke there from the tyres. Carrie Schreiner on the left of Tina Hausmann. Tina Hausmann did phenomenally well yesterday for Aston Martin, moving up, I think, 6 places on the grid. Bianca Bustamante now
to the outside of Jess Edgar. No, sorry, that's Noble, sorry, into the last corner, right round the outside.
So they're now going down into the start-finish straight. This is potential opportunity to use that toe. We can see a lovely little battle there. Lovenfoss seems to be losing a little bit of pace compared to yesterday.
Yeah, tyres obviously a bit colder than everyone else's. Hard defensive move there as we get the Haas running deep. And now Jess Edgar's got the run on all of them now down to turn 4.
So it's Power Pulling, Vug, Marty, Chambers, Lovenfoss, Edgar, Noble, Bustamante, Amna Alquabizi make up the top 10 at the moment.
Yeah, Chloe Chambers might have to give that place back at turn 1. We might see a replay and then get to see what happened. But yeah, running in deep and now gaining the position. It's taken the pressure off her, but potentially not all legal.
Now, looking down as they're coming into that turn, you can see the gap. There's already a 2-second gap. Pin, Pam and Pullin are just starting to pull away there from the rest of the field. Let's have a look at the replay of the start.
Yeah, so it's a great launch from Pan off pole. She came straight across to cover from Abby, had to stay defensive. Everyone then was really well behaved. Abby opened up her line to try and get the run through turn 2. A few 3, 4, 5 abreast right at the back, but no contact from what I can see.
No, that was a nice clean start. Lovenfoss there, going on the inside, I think she managed to make that move stick with Chloe Chambers there in the black and white Haas car. So Chloe actually cut the corner there.
Yeah, so this was the replay we were talking about. Lovenfoss had a great move on Chloe into the last corner, kept the position, and then at turn 2, Chloe Chambers cut turn 2, got the place back. So yeah, I think she'd have to swap that. They're still ahead, 5th and 6th respectively. As the move continues, Lovenfoss to the outside of Chambers, getting a good exit.
So this is a lovely little battle on for 5th position at the moment. Chloe Chambers, an American driver. She moved into cars in 2021. She started karting from the age of 8, so she has a lot of experience here. She's gone, a little bit of contact. A spin there, and the Charlotte Tilbury car of Lola Lovenfoss.
And she pulled forward into Leah
recovery,
Block.
But that tricky situation. Leah Block there, fists pumping, not happy, understandably so. She was just caught up in the action there. That was not her fault. Let's take a look at the replay.
So she's got a nice big slipstream. This is on the back from Lovenfoss there into turn 1. She's got the move done. Chloe Chambers obviously missed up, locked up, hit the back. She spun. So I think, again, Chloe potentially overstepped the mark there slightly. She spun, and then as she's tried to get going, unfortunately for Leah Block, drove straight into her path. I'm hearing we're now under safety car, so there's a few bits of debris. It's quite a big hit for Leah in the end there, and very unlucky for her.
Such an unlucky place to be. That's the problem. If you're down towards the back of the grid, it's very easy to get caught up in moments like this. I'm sure Leah Block is feeling rather frustrated at the moment. Lucky Carrie Schreiner there managed to escape and not get caught up with Lovenfoss's car. Right, so we now are under safety car, yellow flag.
So we will wait for them to catch up. As Leah did manage to get going, actually, so Leah Block's looking like the car's pointing in a straight line at least, but just without a front wing. So if she can rush round to the pit lane, get that nose change, can get back out and hopefully join the back of the train and be back in the race. As we saw yesterday, though, if you don't get it done quick enough, you become a lap down and potentially your race is over. So fingers crossed for her that her day isn't completely over, albeit a couple of places further down than she would have liked.
Now, obviously, we've got the yellow flag, so that gives the opportunity for all the cars to bunch back up again. So that lead the power and pulling had against the rest of the field is now gone, and they're going to have to start back up again.
Yeah, so there was a few gaps opening up, a couple of corks in the bottle, so to speak. Now it's going to get exciting again. Probably going to have lots to speak about at the restart as Lola Lovenfoss has rejoined. I'm amazed she hasn't got any damage considering how big that contact was. One from behind and then two from Leah Block coming through to the side as Tina Hausmann comes into the pits. So she's obviously picked up a little bit of damage in the whole incident at the start of the race.
Now, in this year of F1 Academy, FIA Super Licence points are available. Now, this is a new thing to 2024. The top 5 classified drivers will get FIA Super Licence points, 10 for the win.
So just to interrupt you there, Nikki, it looks like she's actually got more of a mechanical issue. They're taking off the engine cover. The laptops have come out and been plugged in as the Prima mechanics look to see what the problem is. So it probably wasn't damage from a crash rather than actually a technical issue there by the looks of things. So here's the incident. Lovenfoss has got the inside. The Chambers has hit her from behind. She spun round, come to a stop. A relatively innocent incident, I suppose, misjudgment. And then it's here. Once Schreiner comes through, she drives forward. Nothing Leah can do. And that's a really big hit. I'm amazed there's not more damage for both of the drivers there. As we've seen from Bustamante's onboard. She does well to avoid it. Little lock up, cuts the corner, no harm done there. But yeah, amazed that both of these cars have managed to get through. Here's Tina Hausmann. This is maybe where the damage has come from. No, that's the incident again. So nothing from Tina Hausmann and nothing Leah could do there. Just drove straight into the path and, yeah, trying her best to get out of the way, but nowhere to go.
How hard is it when you're on such a tight, twisty street circuit to miss traffic? I mean, you know, you've got to have eyes in the back of your head, really. Yeah,
well, your vision is reduced with the walls and the barriers and how blind it is. You know, on the sim here over the last couple of days, you can't see more than a few hundred meters ahead of you, so everything comes at you much quicker and your reaction time is much shorter. So makes it so much harder to, you know, avoid a stationary car, especially when it drives into the path that you're going. So safety car is ending. The lights are out on the safety car. The race leader now can take control. As soon as the lights go out, the de facto speed set is by Dorian Pan now. Abby's going to be watching her gearbox, but so is everybody else. Everybody, you're in 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, you'll just be looking at the leader to see when they go. We saw yesterday that Dorian Pan went very close to the start line. I'd assume she'll do something very similar because she had a great start yesterday, managed to give herself a nice big gap, and actually it was P2 and P3 that then had the fight and the pressure. So expect similar again. She's just there on the throttle and riding the brake. They'll be getting a bit of extra brake temperature in for turn 1 as we now see the investigation or the collisions being noted by the stewards. I'm sure that one will be reviewed properly. Round the last corner now.
I do just love how closely they bunch up. You know, they're sort of, and she's gone. Wow, so she's gone a bit earlier than she did yesterday.
Yeah, gone a bit early, but she's now under pressure. Abby's really close over. What a great shot from behind. She stays defensive on the inside. Abby's going to go to the outside here.
So Abby's got the advantage of the toe effect from Pan, who's now in front. Can Abby go for the lead of the race? It's wheel to wheel, rubber to rubber, not quite, but it was a good attempt.
It was a good attempt, but a lot of pressure on Pan. She locked up, managed to get it stopped. They're now back to single file. Looks like Bustamante's putting a bit of pressure, not managing to get the move done into turn 4. 2 Red Bulls at the back fight for place as well.
So it's almost like a restart of the race as the yellow flag goes in and the safety car goes in. And we are back racing once again here in Jeddah. Love and Foss is still in the pits.
So yeah, the damage, they're looking at the side pod, and that was exactly where Leah went straight into side, so maybe she's punched her radiator. But at the restart, the driver under pressure was Nobles there from Bustamante, so it'll be interesting to see if she can get back past. On our timing screen, she's only 3/10 behind, so probably right up underneath. Yeah, look, there's the damage. There's the damage at the side, so I would assume a bit of a radiator leakage as she jumps out the car.
Oh, what a shame there. So the end of the race for Love and Foss in the Charlotte Tilbury car for Rodin. But I'm sure she'll come back fighting stronger next time out in Miami.
So role reversal now. Bustamante went from the attacker to being attacked as a false start for Leah Block is being investigated.
Interesting. We will keep an eye on that story. What would a typical penalty be for a false start?
It's normally a drive-through, but it depends what they said to them as the Chambers and Lovenfoss incident is under investigation. No surprises there, as we saw multiple replays of that, as now Jess Edgar is putting a load of pressure into the last corner. Big lock-up from the leaders, though.
Yeah, see if we can get another angle on that one. But good to see that Jess Edgar is fighting now in this race. She lost a place earlier on, but she's back in the title, in the hunt for some points.
So the driver struggling at the restart here. Looks to be Bustamante. She's now under pressure, although she's in the tow. You've got Shiner coming inside. It's going to be 3 abreast, maybe even 4 abreast here. Who blinks first? No lockups. They managed to go side by side. She cuts a corner again. That seemed to be her forte yesterday. As Shiner now spins, but looks like she got a hit from behind.
Shiner shaking her head in frustration there. Hopefully she can get back into the race.
Oh, Jess Edgar had a look up the inside and then ran over the curb, did almost what Leah Block did and took off, managed to keep it pointing in the right direction. Marty escapes down the road and now doesn't have the pressure, but it's all kicking off at this restart as they try and build temperature into the car and tyres. Oh, someone runs wide and goes airborne. That was Nobles.
So that was car 22 of Aurelia Nobles for Puma. Nice bit of action there. So it looks like the hunt is on for P4. So Nerea Marti in the Tommy Hilfiger car, the blue, white and red car. Unfortunately, she was taken out of the race yesterday, and now we have another yellow flag.
So that'll be for Carrie Shiner. Hopefully she can get going. Didn't look like there was big damage, so just got to start again, get going. I'm being told she has got going, so we'll wait and see until we actually get there. Here we go. Visual confirmation that's happened. We've now got our safety car. There's a stop car at turn 5, apparently.
Oh, no, what a shame. It's Rima Jafali, the wild card. She looks like she's had some damage there to the front of the car. Potentially, we'll have to take a replay and see what happened. She's already jumped out of the car. Oh, there's a lot of damage there.
So she's ended up in the wall. So obviously something's happened without us seeing there. As who else is Houseman? Tina Houseman is right at the back. Maybe she was involved in the incident.
Okay, well, hopefully we'll get a look at that replay to find out exactly what went on. So that is 2 drivers now out of the race, Jafali and Lovenfoss, leaving 14 remaining. So let's take a look at the replay. This is where they had
3 or 4, trying just a little tag from behind for the Red Bull car. Unfortunately for her, that's pretty much her race over. She has got going though, so joining the back of the field will make it harder for her as we got right on board with Bustamante. So car in front, this was Nobles that ran wide, got airborne. I think we've seen a few drivers do that before, and this is then Jess Edgar getting airborne, similar to what happened yesterday with Leah Block, but managed to keep it pointing in a straight line.
Looks dramatic. How does it actually feel in the car when you do that?
It hurts your backside and back. Yeah. How do I say this in a polite way? Yeah, it hurts the bit you're sitting on, and I think this might be the incident. Oh no, this is still Carrie Schreiner incident where she had the little tap from behind. Oh, and it was at the same Rima Jafali just trying to avoid it and actually end up in the wall, which seemed on her own as Leah Block, as we just saw, trying to get around it again and not lose her front wing like she did before.
Well, plenty of action in the first half of this 13-lap race. You are joining us for the second race of the weekend of F1 Academy here in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. It's a 14-race calendar across 7 race weekends. The traditional points available, as you would get in Formula 1, 25, can't count, 25 points available for the win, 18 for second and 15 points for third. It was Pat, Pulling and Verg all on the top step of the podium yesterday. Well, they weren't all on the top step, they were all on the podium. It was Pat on the top step, Pulling in P2 and Verg in third.
Yeah, I don't think Dorian Pan would have been inviting them onto the top step. She firmly wanted it herself, and again today P1 again. So we're going to have to see what happens again. She went earlier than she did yesterday at the restart. It put her under a bit more pressure. Maybe she's learned from that. We'll wait a bit longer, maybe even go even earlier again. But you've really got to try and catch the drivers behind, sleeping. You've got to go quickly, maybe go on a weave or go down that extra gear to get the extra drive. She's Tina Houseman now trying to rejoin the field. So from her earlier drive through where they took the engine cover off.
What speed is she allowed to do under yellow flag?
So when the safety car first comes out, you have to sit at, normally it's to a delta. I don't think these cars have a delta, but set to a set speed on your dash. And then once you've crossed the safety car line at least twice, you can then drive quicker, still not racing speed, but drive quicker to catch up to the field. So now everyone's pace here is just dictated by the safety car, their close up. So as Leah now has recovered all the way up to 11, so she's only one place away from the points after all those incidents. I feel like we haven't stopped. We've just been talking about all the incidents, and actually it's now time to reset for all these drivers. Everyone at the front will just continue as they were, try not to make any more mistakes. And everyone just a little bit further back need to make a few moves, but plenty happening, loads of opportunity still available on the table. So yeah, be exciting.
In a way, obviously having a yellow flag safety car, it makes the race a bit stop-start, the downside of it. However, the upside, well, let's take a look.
We can try a different game at the restart.
There you go. So her engineer's on it, exactly what I said. So he's noticed she was under pressure. So that was a kind, don't do the same again, please. That stressed me out a little bit on the pit wall, as we've now got a speeding in the pit lane investigation for Leah Block. So that's a jump start and speeding in the pit lane, having a bit of a nightmare day in the office for her. So.
But you know what? They're all kind of teething problems, aren't they? When you're relatively new to this game, little things like that, little slip-ups, are going to happen, and that just only comes with experience, and that's what this championship's all about. Yeah,
she's possibly the most rookie of all the rookies. Very good rallying background and done plenty of amazing stuff. You just go on her social media, she's done some great videos, but just struggling now to iron out all these small mistakes. Here you go, 5-second penalty. So that's just a simple error, maybe a misjudgment, a bit hot-headed from the incident, as we now see a different angle as Bustamante goes through. Little bit of contact. Alcobazi managed to avoid it. She carries on fighting for another day. And then this is the other angle where we then see Rima Jafari. She's gone over the curb and what looks like bounced over the curb and then into the wall. So both.
So do you think she went wide to miss Carrie Schreiner in the kick Sauber?
Yeah, she's gone wide, bounced over the curb. As there looks, who's this replay for? Overtaking under safety car. She was told to give the place back. So obviously there's been a bit of a miscommunication there. And breathe. We're about to have a restart.
Is that how the drivers feel at this moment when you're under safety car? Does it give you a moment to breathe and focus and come up with a strategy, or are you just hesitant and desperate to get racing again?
It depends where you are and how your race has been going.
Yeah.
I think for Dorian Pan at the front, she's probably rolled her eyes and gone, not another one, I'm winning. It's so much easier just when this doesn't happen. If you're Abby, you're probably going, oh, this gives me another opportunity, as Chambers is now under investigation.
I'm quicker than her, I just need to wait fast.
Interesting. Okay, so reports there from Abby Pulling that she feels she's quicker.
Well, she feels she's quicker. She needs to go and prove it then at this restart. So all eyes will be on her. She's laid a hand of cards down on the table.
The proof is in the pudding. Is that a phrase?
As we just saw, there was a 5-second penalty for Chambers for cutting the corner. So that was an earlier penalty and a confirmation. I don't think that's a second one. That's just another confirmation popping up saying that she's got a 5-second penalty for leaving that track. I think that was at turn 2, if I remember correctly.
Also, whilst remembering that this is an absolutely stunning location for a track. On either side, there's this incredible hotel and huge sort of lake in the middle on one side, and then on the other side, you've got the Red Sea. I mean, honestly, these guys in this sort of yellow flag safety car, they could go and have a quick dip in the sea. It's so close to the track. Yeah, well, as we've seen with recently all these Middle East races, they don't do anything by halves over there. There's always fireworks, bright lights and everything. A bit similar to the US races that have now come onto the scene in recent years. You know, the show is part of the display, and yeah, it's great to watch. It is. Did you bring your swimmers in case we want to go for a quick swim during the podium celebrations?
I love a bit of water. I'll be straight in there.
Great, well, there we go. I love that view. There we are. That is a gorgeous view. Saudi Arabian flag there, flying in the middle of the roundabout, because remember, this is a street circuit. And again, a reminder of just the progress that this country has seen.
There should be some radio coming in.
Here we are.
Okay, Dori, my previous message about a different game was broadcasted, so it's your call. Do what you want.
Oh, sorry guys,
just
we've got eyes and ears on you everywhere. Yeah, we did broadcast it, we talked about it, but obviously Dorian Pan is very much in control of this race, and she is doing a superb job bringing that experience and knowledge to F1 Academy, and it's brilliant to see.
Yeah, well, she's a proven track record, of course. She's come from sports cars and had plenty of wins in that world, and now proving that she can also do it in single seaters in a rookie year. As you saw, she's now under control. Safety car lights are out. She's going nice and slow. A few of the drivers weaving just to get that last little bit of temperature into the tyres, give them an advantage on the run down to turn 1. Abby, no more than a metre off her gearbox. Waiting. I wonder where she's going to go.
The suspense. When are you going to call it?
I need a drum roll. Come
on, what do you think she's going to do? I'm going to go I'm going to go after the first third of the start-finish straight. I would go. Yeah,
I think she's going to leave it later and later. Look how much they're all bunching up. You could throw a blanket, a decent fishing net would catch all of these drivers now. How close they all are.
So close.
Abby's opening up the line a little bit. She's gone already, early in the last corner.
Interesting.
Abby's there though.
All right, so now we are back in the last 4 laps of this race. We go racing. It's round 2 of the F1 Academy. In the final closing laps, it's Dorian Pat down the start-finish straight. Can Abby Pulling make the most of this tow and pass her for the lead of the race? No, she can't. They are all through. Marty there, cutting the corner.
Yeah, but there's been a big contact there, and that, I'm not sure whose rear wing that
like
was.
The Puma car of
I think that was Noble's rear wing. But yeah, we saw Berg under a bit of pressure. As Bustamante goes at the inside, the Red Bull has to cut the circuit again. It's all kicking off. There's a big gap out the back there, someone running wide.
So already a little bit of a gap there between the leaders, the front runners, and the rest of the pack.
So look, Leah Block's gone from 11th to 8th, and now under not the rear wing of Nobles as she drops down. So it's all kicking off. The front 6 or 7 there breaking away, with now Leah leading that next train with Bustamante coming up the inside.
Lovely little move there from Bustamante. This is turn 13. There's this incredible gradient that you can just about see on the camera angles there. 12% gradient. Great part of the track.
So here it is. Bustamante's come at the inside. We've watched the Puma car in front of Nobles going in a bit deep. And what happens? Oh, the car on the inside, I didn't actually see who that was, but hit the curb, bounced up and ran into the back. It's the car of Alquabazi. Up the inside, bounced over the curb. Oh, it's hidden behind the screen. We got the picture, roughly.
Frustrations there. That's going to cost, obviously, a fair amount of time. You can see Leah Block there on the right-hand side also locking up. I think she might have cut the corner. Yes, she has as well.
Oh, so there might be a bit of a review there, because, yes, she was avoiding, but she went in quite deep and actually gained a lot of places as Jess Edgar now right up underneath. Oh, Block's gone in really deep, locked up. Easy move now for Bustamante. I wonder whether
Do you think she was trying to give the place back?
No, that looks more like a mistake. As now we've got both of the sisters putting under a load of pressure on Leah Block. It's going to be 3 wide coming down to turn 1 as we've got Alquabazi and Alquabazi left and right.
They do have quite different driving styles though, don't they? Obviously, Hamda, she is the younger of the 2 drivers. She finished 3rd in the F1 Academy last year, and Amna, slightly older, 23 years old, finished 6th.
So after that great restart for Leah Block, getting up to 7th, she's now dropped back down to 9th. Still in the points, which will be a great result for her to score some more points here. But yeah, still a couple more laps to go.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I've got 1 sister.
Would you like to race against her?
Yeah, because I'd beat her easily. She's, to be honest, actually, I've only ever driven a kart with her once, and she beat me. So yes, maybe she should be here.
Girl. So already
she's going to love that. If she's watching this, I'm never going to live that down now.
What's your sister called?
Bryony.
Bryony, good girl. Come and join us. Jess Edgar there was just... No, it wasn't Jess Edgar. Who did we just see in the pit lane?
Nobles.
Thank you. Nobles in the pit lane. Actually, the reason I was talking about I was thinking about Jess Edgar is because she was talking about her brother George, her 13-year-old brother George, who is also into karting, but refuses to take any advice from her very successful driving driver, Jess Edgar. So this is a message to George.
Yeah, well, there's good pedigree in that family. She's also got a cousin that's racing as well, who was on the Red Bull driver program a couple of years ago. So yeah, they're quite a well-known name in the karting world, as we now see Leah Block trying to get past Alquabazi, with Alquabazi behind her under pressure. She's in an Alquabazi sandwich.
Jess Edgar, though, just taking a look at her position at the moment, currently running in P5, which is a great, I think, improvement from yesterday. Obviously, she had that puncher due to contact during the course of that race. Fastest lap, no surprises there, is Dorian Papp.
Shriner comes up the inside into turn 1, trying to get her position, doesn't make the move, still side by side through turn 2, and has to tuck back in, really tuck back in, right up, even front wing touching the rear crash box structure there. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I'll just quickly finish off with Jess Edgar, because yesterday she qualified in P10. She got that puncher, but this is very much a redemption race for her, starting from 9th, and now currently in P5, which would be a fantastic points haul for her and the Rodin team.
Yeah, and she's the only one on the side without a little sponsor logo, just with F1 Academy. So anyone out there that fancies getting a nice logo here on the side, that's my 5-minute plug.
Are you on commission?
I'm not on commission. We're just trying to help out.
Yeah. Brilliant. So I love that livery, by the way, the Kicksauber car. I think it looks fantastic of Carrie Schreider there. She's also
Come on, you're quicker than her. You're quicker than her. Be smart. Let's go. It's 2 laps. 2 laps. Focus.
Bit of a G up there for Carrie Schreiner.
Yeah, some words of encouragement. So Carrie Schreiner currently running in P12. If she manages to make up 2 places, she would be finishing in the points.
Look at Dorian Bin, though. She has pulled the pin on the grenade, so to speak. She's absolutely bolted down the road within a lap, pulled 1.6 seconds on everybody else. And even Abby, trying to hold on to Pan, is 4 seconds away. So they really just bolted within 1-2 laps after that restart. So whatever's left in the tyres, whatever life they've got left, they've really just opened that up.
Yeah, so yesterday after the race, obviously, Pulling said she got a lot more to give. Oh! Abby
There she
Pulling
goes.
just got the fastest lap.
Perfect timing.
That was the perfect timing. But she's still got a second and a half to make up. That's going to be tough in one lap.
As Leah Block's now coming under pressure from Alcobazi, she goes defensive, half covers the move.
So we're on the final lap, lap 13 of 13. It has been a busy race, to say the least. Couple of yellow flags, sorry.
Also remember, Chloe Chambers has a 5-second penalty here, so everyone else behind, you've got to watch that. 5 seconds, then 13. So Alcobazi here needs to push on because she could get an extra point.
So we're now on board with Hamda Alcobazi. Amna is in the 88. Hamda is in the 8. The 8 with the Red Bull Racing livery there. Amna has the Visa Cash App RB.
This is bragging rights back at home, isn't it, over dinner tonight, who finished ahead of each other as Carrie, after that G-up last lap, is trying to put as much pressure as she can.
Yeah, I mean, Hamda did actually say off the back of yesterday that she's here to win. And ultimately thinks that, and I'm sure she does, have the performance to do that. Also, just a reminder that this is a series where all the cars are identical. So it's a 1.4 litre, similar to sort of Formula 4 equivalent. But we are now going into almost the last turn. We're coming down into the last turn. This could be the moment where Dorian Pat has used her experience in single-seaters. She's brought an absolutely dominant race today. She's commanded this race. Abby Pulling currently 1.9 seconds behind. We're coming down the start-finish straight. It is another repeat performance of yesterday, a lights to flag victory for Dorian Pan for Mercedes. She's now just got the fastest lap as well, a full points haul today. Abby Pulling in third, Maya Vug in third, Abby Pulling in second, Maya Vug in third. It's been a long day. Marty fourth, Edgar fifth, Chambers drops down because of the time penalty. Edgar, Bustamante, Alcobazi, Hamda Alcobazi in 8th, Schneider in 9th, Chambers in 10th.
So unfortunately for Chambers there, she would have got 4 or 5 times as many points as she did, but cutting the corner right at the start of the race, as we now hear from Dorian Pan on her radio. So she doesn't think the race is finished. She's still pushing flat out. The last lap of the race, she went purple, 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 which means you've gone quickest out of anybody in every sector, set fastest lap by over half a second, and she still thinks the race is still going. So she's going flat out, thinking race speed, and no one's
So how's
told her.
that happened? So everyone's now high-fiving each other at the Prema Garage. Hopefully someone might listen to this.
Yeah.
And they'll realise they need to get back on the radio because their driver's still out there.
Well, it depends whether they've taken their headset off because they've all started celebrating on the pit lane. So, yeah, someone needs to get onto that on her radio quickly because she's coming round to the last corner now, which is where she's going to have to stop on the grid to do the podium celebrations.
This is going to be a little bit tricky because obviously you want to make sure people aren't on the grid. I'm sure they're well aware that Dorian Pan is coming. Will we look out for another checkered flag?
Yeah, but she still thinks it's going. No one's told her. This is the strangest.
Red flag.
They're now just going to red flag it so she gets the message, but that's maybe her radio's not working and she missed seeing the red flags. That's the strangest thing I've seen in a long time.
Potentially, yeah, that could be the issue. We don't know. We will find out. I'm sure she'll mention it in the post-race interview. An unusual finish, but it does not take away the fact that Dorian Pan is today's champion of the Jeddah Corniche Street Circuit. Not only did she take a double pole position, she's taken a double win. Pulling and Vug are probably wondering where their competitor has gone.
Sorry, What are you doing? It's checkered flag.
Simone, you didn't tell me.
Okay, come back very slowly to the grid. Very slowly to the grid.
I mean, I hope she doesn't get in trouble for that, but she might get at least reviewed for it, missing the checker flag. Everyone else managed to see it and stop, so fingers crossed for her, but now she's going to come around really slowly.
I mean, she was obviously so focused. I mean, she got fastest lap of the race on that last lap. So focused on that maybe that tunnel vision, wasn't aware of the checkered flag. I mean, it's quite an unusual situation.
Yeah, I'm quite surprised that she didn't see or look in the mirrors and suddenly see that Abby wasn't a second behind her anymore. Obviously, her team have finally told her, you know, what's happened, but the organisers have had to throw a red flag, and as we hear from her again.
Simone, you didn't tell me.
Okay, sorry about that. Just come back very, very slowly to the grid.
She was probably feeling a little bit
Yeah, I mean,
there with that one.
she's obviously relied on the team there quite heavily, but there is a checkered flag as well, and the stewards do always say the flags are the go-to over anything else, so be interesting to see what happens. She's now under investigation for taking the flag twice, so yeah, unfortunately for her, she might spend a bit of time up in the steward's office.
Well, apart from that, though, an absolutely phenomenal drive from her. Pulling has jumped out of the car, looking for her rival, who is now coming down the start-finish straight, ready to take her position as P1.
Well, the other thing with that as well is the team would have only put enough fuel in the car to finish the race, and she's done an extra lap at full racing speed. And as part of the regulations, you have to have enough fuel left in at the end to take a fuel sample. So if she's burnt all that fuel off and there's nothing left, there might be something else going on there. But that is just speculation. We'll wait and see what finally happens. As both of the other drivers have already got out of the car, as we wait for Dorian Pan to finally get out and celebrate, albeit maybe a bit subdued.
I'm sure she will not focus on that final moment, and actually just ultimately it's the result that counts, doesn't it? And the Mercedes soon there as well. And now it is time to celebrate and spray what we think is rosewater.
They need to get some more bubbles in this, in those bottles. It doesn't quite sparkle quite the same, does it?
Oh, she's just going to have a shower instead.